Welcome to this episode of YouTube, and it has been a while since I've posted, and I apologize for that. The fall gets pretty busy around here, especially with Aiden's transition and retirement. We are in a circumstance where only 5 of us are working with Aiden right now, so there's a lot of issues that have to be worked out. Fall is also the time of the year for us to clean out our freezer, and this is a little scent rolling that goes with freezer cleaning. Just some odd smells that came out of the freezer from the summer of enrichment, and all the wolves seem to enjoy that. Fall is also time of the year for a little more tension, and here's a couple of clips of some bark howling. So bark howling is done by wolves when they're certainly threatened by something. Notice who led most of that bark howling was Grayson. And in retirement, obviously, Luna and Aiden do still respond to them. Aiden's definitely not nearly as anxious as he was initially. Right after retirement, he's gotten much better in adjusting to life in the pack, and doesn't focus that much on the exhibit pack. We'll howl back to them, but certainly isn't anxious about them. Originally, anytime he heard growling over there, he was a little bit nervous about it. But part of it's because he's got plenty to do in retirement. Luna's resuming the relationship that they had, which was her obnoxious submission, invite chase, and his trying to get her energy to stop. It's interesting, the biggest thing that we're seeing in retirement is Grizzer and Aiden have a really close relationship, kind of a strong bond. They feed together, they do sleep together, and Grizzer seems to enjoy the fact that Aiden's taken the brunt of Luna's obnoxious behavior, so that certainly works out for Grizzer. He is definitely aging. We had a clip the other day of him having a hard time getting up. His leg slipped on the den a little bit, but he's very alert. His vision's kind of going with cataracts, but he's definitely being active with the pack. We did have a wet fall, so we didn't have much for color. They just leaves just started to turn. Again, usually a wet fall means that the leaves retain their green chlorophyll later into the season versus a dry fall. Typically, we'll see the leaves turn a real vibrant color. So we had a lot of leaf color that remained green, and then lots of rain during the fall. The wolves aren't bothered at all by the rain. This young pack is, it's certainly active, and the Arctics, being the youngest, as 2-year-olds going on 3, they're active, but Bolts is right there with them, and Denali, believe it or not, is right there with them as well. So he is 10 going on 11. He will be the oldest pack member that we've had in the exhibit, meaning everyone else has been retired in our history, which is 30 years of wolf care here coming up in April. He's the oldest wolf that maintained himself within the exhibit pack. And so a lot of that's to do with his really super dominant food aggression, but a lot of it has to do with the way the staff is caring for him and making sure that he's feeling physically able to be with these younger wolves. So far we're watching for leaders, seeing Bolts and Axel having a little bit of posturing, but very good social relationships going on. We did increase some feedings, and now feeding in the middle of the week to try to deal with Denali's possessiveness of food, to make sure that Grayson gets enough food. And other than that, we're just waiting for winter. So sorry it's so short. We certainly want to continue to do YouTubes, and it is my priority. But I also want to remind people that once a month I broadcast through a webinar. And in the next couple of weeks, you'll see a webinar subscription up on the website that allows you to get a reduced rate, about a $40 savings, to subscribe to all 12 of the Wolf Care webinars. throughout the year instead of buying them individually, and they are all recorded and archived for later viewing. So if you miss the YouTubes and want to stay attached to the pack, I would check out the webinar subscriptions. So we'll see you again.